Okay, Miss Ovita, just for the record, can I please get your official title?
Okay, my name is Ovita Perez, and I am a psychiatric social worker with Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center. I'm a counselor, licensed professional counselor for Children's Division. I am also the chapter manager for the National Association of Social Workers Guam chapter, who will be sponsoring the conference for this year.
Okay, excellent. So let's get right into it. Explain to us the value that social workers in our community bring to the table. Why are they so important to us?
Social workers are very important to the community. They're professional people that are trained to assist those in need. So anywhere from actually the whole lifespan of an individual and families can be assisted by social workers from birth to the end of life, right? So they are there to provide services in terms of what the individual and families need to improve their lives. They're there in every setting, in the hospitals, the courts, behavioral health centers, the schools, nonprofit, both nonprofit and government entities. So they're really just all over they're in the lives of individuals, of those in need and have life challenges.
Okay, so obviously the job entails them helping those in need. What are some of the challenges that social workers need? Because from what I understand, this year's conference's theme is coping through crisis.
Mm-hmm. So this year, since COVID, the social workers, their job never ended. They're still out there in just like the doctors and the nurses and other healthcare providers. They're still out there meeting the challenges of individuals and families. So it never stopped. So there's never they're always out there, like I said, to help others, right? So in this conference is going to hopefully the aim is to bring us all together to discuss and support each other in healthy ways of both mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical being as we restore ourselves. Because while we're out there helping others, we also need to take care of ourselves, right? So this conference aims to bring all of us together to discuss what are the challenges and how do we, while we're helping others, how do we also help ourselves? So that is the main aim for this conference, and that's why it's entitled "Coping Through Crisis: Restoring Resiliency and Renewing Hope."
So, what are some of the activities that are going to be taking place, and how long is this conference for?
This conference is 2 days. We typically, before COVID, we always had it out face to face, right out in the hotels, and which is a part of our work is networking with others. But since COVID, we haven't been able to go out the way we used to. So it's going to be a virtual conference. Last year we had a free one, but this year we need to we're going to charge for this year, and we're going to have two keynote speakers. The first speaker is Dr. Bonnie Duran, who is a professor at the University of Washington, whose research aims to work in partnership with communities to design health access and prevention efforts that are empowering, culture-centered, accessible, sustainable, and have maximum public health impact. And then the second keynote speaker is, she's been in the news for a while. She's a local Chamorro artist, whose aim is to heal those who have experienced gender-based sexual violence, giving a voice, space, and as well as a confidential vehicle for survivors to not only share their experiences, but to also explore those experiences that have affected them long term. So we have two really great speakers, keynote speakers, and then we're gonna also the part of the another aspect of our conference is we're gonna have ethics, training in ethics and training in cultural diversity, cultural impacts. So that we're working closely with the Guam Board of Social Work, the Social Work Board, who license our social workers. So we're that's part of the renewal for social work license. So we're going to incorporate that into our conference as well. So that's why it's really hopeful that a lot of the agencies, both public and private entities, ensure that their social workers attend our conference, because we have this annually. And, you know, we really, part of NASW's work is to really try to enhance the profession the best we can. So it's going to be a very exciting conference. We're in partnership with the Global Learning at UOG. So they're going to be the one facilitating the virtual conference. So there's a link to it to register. And then there's a little bit of fees. It's not too expensive for a 2-day conference. For NASW members, it's $75 for the 2 days. For non-members, it's $95. And then we also have student members, which is $25. And then the non-student members is $35. So it's a pretty affordable fee, I think, for a 2-day virtual conference. Another highlight of our conference are the awards ceremony. We normally have a really big bash, right, to honor some of the social workers out there that have really exemplified really professional service. So there's 4 categories for awards. One is a lifetime achievement. It's a social worker that has been a social worker, you know, for a lifetime. Another one is a social worker of the year, someone that has really exemplified the profession. And social work student of the year. We have a program with the University of Guam that's a whole division that provides training and for the Bachelor of Social Work degree, which is an accredited program. And then we have the Exemplary Service Provider Award, which it goes out to a service provider that really exemplifies a true professional to provide services for our community. We also have a proclamation signing. We're waiting for the governor to send us the link, and then I'll send that out to the community. But that's scheduled for March 4th at 10:30, and it's going to also be via Zoom. Unfortunately, everything is via Zoom these days. But that's scheduled for the 4th of March. And then we have a wave down at the Adelup. Not Adelup, the Chief Kapua Park right there. We wave, you know, we just wave to out there by Marine Drive.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys definitely have a lot to commemorate social workers. And, you know, we'll definitely be following along with that. So I want to draw it back to the conference. So this is for professional social workers, and you could say, I guess, social workers in training.
Yes, for both students and any we welcome, you know, we work very closely with all human services providers. So it's open to all of us, not only just social work, but anyone in the human services field is welcome to join us.
All right, excellent. And what are you hoping that participants will take away from the conference?
I believe it's really just find ways, healthy ways to try and manage your life and provide that balance, right? Because it's a very tough job, right, for to be a social worker, and especially with amidst all this challenges of the pandemic. So we hope that we can come and help each other and learn from each other. Really, it's a learning thing, right? Even if you've been trained over and over again, for some of us, it's a refresher. A lot is for really trying to figure out. There's other services out in the community that are new. Grants are coming up everywhere, so it's a way of collaborating and networking and learning really from each other in healthy ways to try to improve our mental, emotional, and spiritual, and of course our physical well-being as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Ovita. And I guess I just have one more thing. As a professional yourself, obviously, what could you say what are some of the biggest challenges that you would say you've faced within your profession? I mean, you go into work every day knowing that you're going to be meeting, because your specialty is children that are in some of the worst situations imaginable.
I think one of the most challenging, really, with our work, right? It's really coming out and meeting our clients, right, where they're at. It's meeting them face to face. With COVID, it really hindered some of our services, because we have to take a lot of the protocols from the public health into play. So it's and then challenging of relearning how to provide services, right, as best we can, especially like for virtual. There's a lot of pros and cons about it. Some when we meet them virtually, they don't have to worry about transportation. We can schedule hours. It doesn't have to be the traditional 8 to 5 hours, but a lot of it is really the interaction face to face with the clients. I think it has been the most challenging, and hopefully we'll get back to some form of semblance of normalcy soon. But it has been really difficult, and I think that's the really greatest fear, is the catching the COVID and then exposing it to other family members and things like that. So it has been difficult, but like I said, we never stopped, we never closed our doors. We try to manage as best we can, but that's just really is a face-to-face interaction that was really kind of lost a little bit there. But we try to make do with what we can as best we can.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Ovita. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we close out?
No, thank you. And again, I like to send out my email address, which is naswgu@gmail.com, to contact me if there's any questions, or you didn't receive the link for registration, and then or call me at 671-727-6843.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Ovita. Have a good weekend.
Okay, you too, Nan. Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye. You too.
Bye.